Welcome back to another car market video, and today we are going to be looking at the 992 GT3 and also the 992 GT3 touring market in the UK. As you can see here, you can now buy a 992 GT3 touring for well under the list price, and also the standard variant is also well under the list price as well. Firstly, before we get into the video, if you haven't already, make sure to hit that subscribe button and also comment down below which cars you want to see next. And also, if you haven't already, make sure to follow me over on Instagram, which is here, and also TikTok for more frequent posts. So, as mentioned, we're going to be looking at the 992 GT3 market and also the GT3 touring market. These cars have, as mentioned, recently dropped further in price. The newer 992.2 generation has recently been released and also has just been added to the configurator in the UK. As mentioned, these cars in general don't really seem to be selling. You can see there we've got a £5,000 drop on this red one, 2.2k on that one, and a £7,000 drop on the cheapest on the market, the Ruby Star car as well. So the list price of these cars on release was around £150,000. With options, you're looking at around 170 to 180k with a decent spec. And you can see these cars are well under the list price with a low mileage. So these cars just a few thousand miles on them. And you can also get some of the newer cars as well for well under the list price. And in general, we've got quite big drops. That one there, £19,000 drop. So this red one, £19,000 drop, and that is since earlier back in 2024. So in general, a lot of them don't seem to be selling, listed for quite a while, not shifting for 160 to 150k. And you can see we've also got some newer examples here. That car there, a 2023 72 plate car, and also we've got 24 plates as well, which are the last of the run, selling for around about £160,000. That one there, 73 reg, very low mileage as well, and that car would have listed at 170. So again, even the newer cars from the factory are selling for under list. It will be interesting to see what the 992.2 generation does, as that, in my opinion, will be relatively similar, considering they've not really sort of upgraded it as much as a lot of people thought they would. And as you can see here, we've got quite a lot of examples, 73 plates, so around a year old now, some of them under a year old, been dropped heavily by the dealers, 4.9k, £4,000, £14,000, and then that one recently listed. Interestingly, in the UK, the touring is cheaper, so the touring generally is the car which is supposed to be more desirable, hardest to get from the factory, and was the most sought after car. However, in the UK, we've got 29 tourings for sale, whereas there is only 20 standard GT3s for sale. So that gives you an idea. Overproduction of the touring, they made quite a lot of them, and as such, the prices have dropped further on the tourings. And you can see you can pick one up for 145k. That is a left-hand drive example with high miles, but a standard one. Bearing in mind these cars are slightly more to buy from the factory, £152,000 and then 158,980. So yeah, very similar price to the 992 GT3 with the wing, which is quite interesting considering they're supposed to be more desirable, and there's more listed on the market, which does mean a lot of enthusiasts have been saying, Porsche have rapidly increased the 992 GT3 touring slots. Things like the 991.2 were a lot rarer, and you can see we've got a £7,000 drop, £2,000 drop. These cars generally are really selling and have been listed for quite a while. Interestingly, the 992 GT3s have been, with a wing that is, have been as cheap as around 130 to 140. There was one or two cars listed for around that price, and if you are buying one, I would recommend to get one for around that kind of money. They've been quite stagnant at 150, not really selling, been listed for quite a while. If you can get a dealer one at 130 to 140, I think that's where these cars would realistically have some demand and realistically be able to sort of move on for. We've also got some collecting cars auctions examples. As mentioned, taking a look at some sold examples from the Collecting Cars website, we can see this one from 2024 sold at £155,000. That is well under the list price. This is a very low mileage 2024 car as well. So 2,500 miles, 24 plate, and this car would list at around £175,000 with all the options. And you can see there it was around £20,000 off the list price. So that just goes to show the newer cars, even with the wing, are well under the list. And if you are buying one from the dealer, especially with the 992.2, overs on these cars are going to be very difficult to make considering what they're selling for. We can also see we've got another one here, 2021 992 GT3, £136,000. That is closer to what I'd expect them to be selling for on the market. Those listed at 150, in my opinion, won't really sell that easily. I would say 130 to 140 is the ideal market for these cars. Cup cars are going for a little bit more, and also interestingly, we've also got a touring here, £151,000. So again, that just goes to show the underlying factor of Porsche making a lot more of these 992 GT3 tourings. 29 of them listed versus 20 with the wings. And they are clearly not as desirable as they were, for example, in the 911 generation, with a lot of cars dropping from the list price already. This one then, 723 miles, November 2023 car, so 73 plate, 723 miles, and that was £150,000. So two very similar cars. That one's slightly more high mileage, and the touring seems to have sold for less money. So that just goes to show how undesirable the touring is at the moment. Additionally, as we saw there, we've got that 2021 example, which sold for £136,000. Then, to give you an idea of where prices were, £141,000. So relatively steady. However, this is a higher mileage car, and also on release, as you can see there, 160, 170. They were stable at around 180 for quite a while. Then they dropped after the sort of pandemic, and you can see there 178, 181 is what they were selling for back at the start of 2024. 153,000 now on that one, which is also a good deal. Finally then, if you do have any thoughts or comments, do let me know. Let me know which car you want to see next on the channel. And to leave you with my closing thoughts, around 130 to 140k is a good deal for a car with a wing. For a touring, I think you're looking to pay similar. Around 145 is where you want to be at. These cars in general have been listed for quite a while, and the market is quite stagnant on them, especially with the release of the 992.2. Expect prices to fall a little bit further, especially with the amount of 992 GT3 tourings they did make. Finally, make sure to follow me over on Instagram, as mentioned, and also TikTok for more frequent content. Comment down below which car you want to see next and more suggestions for the videos. And we also will be doing a giveaway at 1,000 subscribers, so subscribe to be involved in that. Thanks for watching. I'll see you all for the next one, and bye for now.